Hi everyone, welcome back to the Start Now podcast. This is Nomin, your host speaking. Now before we start our interview today, I would like to share a little bit of my story because I think it relates to our topic today. I've always wanted to become an entrepreneur ever since I was a kid, and throughout the years I have started many little projects and small businesses. But when I say small, I mean very, very small. So to give you an example, when I was in college, I started making tutus for little girls and sold them online. Then I started selling Instax Polaroid cameras in Mongolia. They were actually pretty successful, but both of those side hustles didn't make enough money for me to do them full time. However, that's not really the point that I'm trying to make here. The point is that I started them. I started doing them. And I never really had problems starting a project that I was passionate about until 2 years ago when I moved back to Mongolia and didn't have a job. And actually, I didn't want to get a job. I wanted to start my own business, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do exactly. So while I was doing my research, I started teaching English online at this online Japanese company. And I actually really enjoyed it. So I wanted to start my own online English program in Mongolia. So I started doing more research and started teaching other Mongolians with one-on-one private tutoring. But after doing that for a few months, I was still stuck on that research and preparation stages. I was scared to actually launch my own course. Then one day on January 1st, 2019, I made the decision to just start and then deal with all the problems and doubts that I was scared of later. Now it's been a year and a half since I started it, and I've actually been traveling during that time. I've been to Washington, D.C., Orlando, and the Bahamas, Singapore, New York City, and of course my home country, Mongolia. I guess I can say I've become a digital nomad, which is pretty cool. Now our guest today is another digital nomad, but she took it a step further. She is a digital nomad mom. That's right, she has been traveling with her daughter all around the world for the past couple years. She owns a marketing agency and is the founder of Digital Nomad Mums, the Dream Club, and the Online Business Success Academy. I'm very excited for you guys to hear her story, but one more thing, I have to apologize for the sound quality. There will be a couple glitches. I'm still learning to host a podcast. Sorry about that. So, okay, please enjoy the interview. Thank you. Hi, Chanel.
Hey, great to meet you.
You too. How are you today?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, just got lots of time to focus and do all those things I'm putting off. So I'm trying to get things done this week.
Mm-hmm. And you said you are currently in UK?
Yeah, that's right. So I'm from Northampton and we're back here. We got back here at the end of February. So just in time for lockdown pretty much. So yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, where have you traveled so far in 2020?
So in 2020, only Thailand, but me and my 10-year-old daughter, we've been traveling for the last 2 years. So in that time, we've been to a lot of places, we've been all around the world.
Yeah, how many countries would you say?
I think it's about 10 countries.
Okay.
Because we slow traveled, so we spent quite a lot of time in the US, Australia, New Zealand. So those are quite big countries, to visit. So yeah, it was more like longer times in those bigger countries.
I see. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning, right?
Sure.
You started your online marketing business 2 years ago, right?
So it was about 3 years ago now. It was 2017. I was working as a marketing coordinator in a 9 to 5.
Okay.
And I wasn't really loving it, to be honest, to put it mildly. Because I had my daughter when I was really young. I was 19 when I had my daughter.
Okay.
So I went back to uni when she was about 2. So I didn't graduate till I was 25. So by that point, everyone else had been in a 9 to 5 since they were 18. And I was really shocked by the whole situation of having to sit somewhere all day. Because at uni, you don't really, you can go in when you want, you can miss lessons if you need to. And especially being a single mum, being in uni was great because it was so flexible. So if she was sick, I just wouldn't go to a lecture. It wasn't really an issue. But then going into a 9 to 5 when she was, 5 years old, it was a big shock. 5 or 6 she was. It was a big shock to the system for both of us. For her being away from me all day, every day, from 8 in the morning till 6 at night. So it was difficult, and I didn't love it at all. So I started sort of looking into freelancing and different online business options, all kinds of different online business options, because when you type in make money online, obviously loads of things come up and lots of dodgy stuff as well. So eventually, because I was already in marketing, I thought, freelancing would be a good way to go. And so I started freelancing on the side in 2017 alongside my job.
Okay, I see. All right. So you were still working as a marketer during the day. And then how did you find your clients when you were freelancing?
So a lot of it was to do with my network. So I had a friend who was in the industry who I told her about what I was trying to do, and she gave me some clients. I met a guy who I became friends with, and he decided to go on his own and set up his own company, so he hired me. So at the beginning, it was a lot of my connections and actually friends and friends of friends and stuff like that. And then gradually I started building up my LinkedIn profile to go into networking events. And that was really how I did it in the beginning. But it's not especially sustainable, sort of word of mouth marketing. And the way I market now is very, very different and a lot more strategic and a lot more targeted. But when I started out, even though I was in marketing, even though I was in social media management, I didn't know how to make those things really happen at the time.
I see. So when did you decide, okay, now I'm at a place where I can quit my 9 to 5 job? And
so that didn't actually happen. I got made redundant after about 9 months in the job. So I got made redundant because I'd not been there very long. I just got 2 months pay. So to be honest, I was over the moon with that, because I'm sure, as you know, when you're trying to work and run a business, it's very difficult because you haven't got the energy to focus. And it's really hard to balance that. So this kind of gave me an opportunity, like a window of 2 months where I could then build the business. I kind of put everything into it at that stage. So things got a little bit better, but still not great because I just didn't know that sort of the lead generation strategy that I have now, which brings me lots of high value leads. I had no idea about that. And I didn't learn that until probably last year when I hired a coach to actually teach me that. Because a lot of people think they know how to do social media marketing, and they may know how to post some good posts, and they may know how to do certain things, but that's not the same as getting consistent, great leads messaging you, asking to buy your stuff. It's a completely different story. So I was still not doing great, but that same time as I got made redundant, me and my boyfriend split up. We've been together 3 years. So it was a very difficult time, and I just felt like I needed something big, to shake me up in life. And that's when the whole idea came about of traveling. And even though I didn't have the business, it wasn't in the best position at that time, I just decided that I was going to make it happen. So for the next few months, it was sort of, how can I make this happen?
I see. So how did you make it happen?
So, like I said, I didn't have a lot of money at the time. So I started, first of all, I made a vision board and I sort of put it out into the universe what I wanted to do. And I'm not super woo, I'm not super into, all woo stuff, but the vision board really helped me to focus my energy and focus my intentions on what I really wanted. So every day I was looking at that vision board and I was seeing my goal, which was to travel the world full time with my daughter, to have a really great business. All of the things that I literally have now were on that board. So I think at the time that gave me then the energy to be like talking about it. I started posting on social media saying I wanted to travel. Does anyone know about travel? Joining all the Facebook groups. I would ask people questions, and gradually over time